All right. So this is our productive agent call, and as I mentioned on uh, our role play call this morning, the starting next Monday, because what I have is I have a so we have an 8 o'clock call. We have an 8 o'clock role play, and then we have a 9 o'clock productive agent call on Mondays. Now, so we're actually going to combine the productive agent and the role play. So starting next Monday, it's actually going to shift from Monday. It's going to shift 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So there's going to be a little bit of, and we're going to shift the productive agent more to Friday. The productive. Well, I should say that they're all, in my opinion, productive agent, kind of class. But what we've been traditionally doing, the tell me some wins and that kind of stuff. So we're going to share those on Fridays. Okay, but Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're doing a call 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Okay, and I'm going to be sending out an email, and we're going to be doing role play, and then we're going to do a lesson. So Monday, we're going to be starting with time management. So we're going to be starting off with time management. So that'll probably be Monday and Tuesday. I have to look at how we set up the curriculum. And then Thursday, Friday, we'll be doing other lessons. So we're going to have a specific curriculum, and you're going to get an email every week. We're going to have a web page dedicated to this portion of the training, so that the website will be updated, so you'll know what's going on. So you know what we're going to be training on the calls. They're going to be recorded. Now, recording, so it's one of those ones where, I can miss this because it's going to be recorded. Now, yes, that's absolutely true. That's a fact. However, the human nature is most of you will not listen to the recordings. I mean, you just won't. So I encourage you strongly to get on the calls and take the lessons. Okay, so 8 a.m. will be the role play, and then 8:30 will be the lesson. So we're going to be doing 4 days a week, and then Wednesdays coaching. So this is going to be pretty intense. So it's designed to increase your business, right? We have a thing called a PPP. PPP is production per person. So as a company, I'm committed to growing the company via agent count. I'm also committed to increasing your PPP. I'm dedicated, 100% committed to growing your business, okay? And if you want to grow your business, plug in. That's the key. You just have to plug in, and then you will grow your business. It is that simple. So without further ado, let's go into our final Monday our productive agent call. So who wants to share some wins? So who has some wins here? Anybody? Richard, you had Richard. Well, you had a listing appointment, right? Hello, did everybody go somewhere?
Hi,
can you hear me?
This is Robin.
Now I can hear you.
Okay. I put myself on mute. Yeah, I did go to the listing appointment, and he's committed to listing, but he wants to wait until I renew his.
Right.
So I intend to follow up with my current listing, because that expires in July, about renewing. And
right.
Then he's committed to listing his property at the same time.
Got it. Well, good job, Richard. Good job.
Thanks.
Anybody else have any wins? So I know there was two people trying to talk at once. So, excuse me. So, anybody else?
This is Robin. I just was going to say I picked up a couple of new buyers from referrals, so that's a win, but I'm excited to kind of prove that I can help them and help them well. So that was
sweet. And they were referrals. Where did the referrals come from?
Actually, one was from you. That's actually the people that was sent from the Ogden office. And then one was through a friend.
So, and the other one was a friend.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Perfect. So, excuse me. So, well, great.
Robin.
What was that?
I said Robin is on a roll.
Oh yeah, Robin is. She's got it going on. That's for sure. So, if you're on the call, there's a little side trail real quick. You know, and you haven't made your living arrangements for the Superstar retreat. Let me see. Well, Renee and Robin are the only ones on there that said they were going. Both of you already have your hotel. So the other ones, I told Amy to take the bull by the horns and get the other, if they're going to do so they may get a house with a pool. So if that's the case, we'll have a pool party one night now. So, but it'd be nice for all of us to get together while we're there. So I personally am staying at the hotel of the event. So I believe Robin and Renee are too. So anyway, how about questions? Any questions? Struggles? So let's talk about some of the. So let's talk about objection handling. If you guys are on the calls, what kind of objections are you getting from people out there? So I know, like Renee, she was having a hard time. She's been calling for sale by owners. So Renee, one of the ones she came up with, a guy, you know, he was listed with Homey, and it felt burned by them. And so then he decided to go for sale by owner. And then so he didn't want to talk to an agent now, but so he was a little aloof, and she wasn't really able to get all the why, when, and where out of him. So, but the key is, so, and I don't care if you're talking to for sale, it doesn't matter who you're talking to. You have to find out why, when, and where. You just have to find that out, because the why, when, and where will determine how, or not only how you'll follow up with them, if you, and it'll even determine if you want to follow up with them. Excuse me. So I need to grab a swig. So it actually, so that's how you determine. So think about when you're prospecting, ultimately you want an appointment, right? That's the goal of making a call. You want an appointment, whether it's you're talking to your SOI, a for sale by owner, expired, a web lead, doesn't matter. A referral, you want an appointment. So, however, you know, you don't always get the appointment on a first shot, but you want to make sure you get the why, when, and where. You get the why, when, and where, so that you can determine how to follow up with them. So if somebody says, we did the for sale by owner role play this morning, and in the script it says, well, you know, when do you have to move? Well, you know, where are you moving to? He says, LA. When do you need to be there? He says, 30 days. So if somebody says they're moving in 30 days, well then, you know, how should you follow up with them? You should be on the phone. I mean, if I was on the phone with a FSBO and he said he was moving in 30 days and I couldn't get an appointment that day on the phone, I would go knock on their door in the evening time. I would not let that guy sit. That guy is just hanging out there. And the first agent, so the NAR statistic says that 2/3 of all sellers interview one agent. You get that? 2/3 of all sellers interview one agent. So if this guy is selling and moving, if he's moving in 30 days, he's right. Now, for sale by owner may wind up interviewing more simply because they have agents contacting them. Now, a standard SOI type referral probably won't interview more than one agent because they're not talking to more than one. Where for sale by owner, I mean, my gosh, they can't swing a dead cat without hitting an agent in their realm of what's going on. So, but they're getting a lot of calls, but they're not getting a lot of face-to-face. So you need to be willing to talk to people. You need to be willing to get face-to-face. You've got to get face-to-face. Now, yes, you can get a contract signed when you're not face-to-face. Excuse me. However, you know, it's better to be in front of them to close for the signature. It's a lot easier to close for the signature face-to-face than it is over the phone. It's just that simple. So, anyway, so any thoughts, questions on that? On the any other objections we're getting out there? So let's do the objection right now. Let's say you're on the phone with a for sale by owner, or any seller for that matter, or even an expired, and they say, "Do you have a buyer for my house?" Right? You're going to get that often. Do you have a buyer for my house? And so if you say no, or if you hesitate any way, shape, or form, they're going to have you against the ropes, and they're just going to beat you. So you need to handle that. So here's how you handle a for sale by owner. So we assume a for sale by owner is an internal processor, meaning they're a know-it-all, and then they know what they're doing. They got this figured out. So with that said, so when a for sale by owner says, do you have a buyer? And if you say, I don't know, or no, you're dead. You're just dead. They'll be like, call me when you do type thing, right? So the way you answer that question is you have to say, of course you know, right? Or I don't need to tell you, you already know. That's a kind of language pattern you open with a internal processor. And when it comes to for sale by owners, you have to let's just assume they're internal processor, especially if they come at you right away with, do you have a buyer? So your answer is, of course you know, and I haven't seen your home yet. So in other words, so when you say that, an internal process, if you tell an internal processor that something they already knew, well, they can't deny they knew it because they're a know-it-all. And when you tell a know-it-all they already knew it, then it can't be wrong. So, of course, I haven't seen your home yet. I just need 5 minutes to take a quick look at your house. That way I can share it with the buyers I'm working with and any new buyers that come into my system. So, does that make sense how that works? So that's how you do it, right? So that's just a quick objection handler. Do you have a buyer? Hey, Renee, you're on mute. So, Renee, do you get that objection from for sale by owners?
I do. In fact, I just went through that quite a bit, and I do ask them that. And I've had like 2 or 3 that just get really ticked off after that point. I'm just tired of talking to agents.
Say that. Oh, they're tired of talking to agents. That's okay.
Oh, yeah. They're getting 80 calls a day, I'm sure, or
right. Well, don't assume they're getting as more calls than just assume they're getting a bunch, but they're not getting as many as you would think. But they're certainly getting a bunch. So, but how do you handle the script when they say, do you have a buyer?
I've actually used what you just explained.
Okay.
Because I in the beginning I did hesitate and I lost them right off the bat. But
right.
I said, well, obviously I would need to take a look at your home to kind of get.
Well, you got to start off with, of course you know. You got to say, of course you know, I haven't seen your home yet.
Okay, I'll try that approach.
You have to tell them that. It's important. When I give you a line, please use it verbatim. When I give you a line, it's not meant to do it your way. It's meant to use verbatim. That line has been tested for a long, long time. This isn't something I make up. That's a tried and true tested line. So, and then what you do, so all I need is 5 minutes of your time to take a quick look at your home, so that way I can share it with the buyers I'm working with and any new buyers that come into my system. So let me ask you, when's a good time to just drop by and just take a quick look at your house? And they go, well, I'm not interested in that. Okay, great. So you're not interested in it. Well, I'm curious, when you sell this, where are you guys going? Right? So the object of what I just said was, you're not really going to get an appointment per se. I mean, if you do, great. So if you get a preview appointment, good for you. However, one of the ideas there was See, when they ask, the reason why they ask you, do you have a buyer, is because they've asked an agent, do you have a buyer? And the buyer hesitated and stalled or said no. And they were able to take the rein back from the buyer and say, well, call me when you do. That put them in charge of the conversation. So our goal is to do a pattern disrupt, right? We want to interrupt their pattern. So their pattern is, do you have a buyer? No, boom, boom, boom. They're going to come after you with the left and the right, left and the right. So we're going to interrupt that pattern. Do you have a buyer? And then we're going to punch them in the gut and say, well, of course, you know, I haven't seen your home yet. And they're like, they're screwed because that didn't follow the script that they had written. So because we didn't follow their script, we now have them. So then you just go right back and asking the next question. So we disrupted them. It's called a pattern interrupt type of question.
Okay.
But it's important that you go through that because, like I said, they're internal processors, and then therefore, if you tell them they already knew, they're not going to argue with you. Nobody's going to. Internal processors don't argue with you when you tell them they already knew it. It's an impossibility for their brain. It's not. Their brain works. There's an expression. It's like it's not important what they think. It's more important how they think. So if we understand how they think, we can use that knowledge of how they think to get an appointment. But really, you're just trying to get past that first line so you can build rapport and so that you can follow this, you can find out why, when, and where. So, and that's the goal of that question that I gave you. So, make sense?
It does make sense. Yeah, I just need a lot more practice on that.
Yep. So, how about anybody else have any type of objections they're getting from people? Or any other struggles or questions right now? Is that anything you're working on that's just kind of not working out for you? So, well, okay. So then so if we don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the call, and then and just stay tuned for emails that of how we're going to do next week. Okay. So, and I'd love to see all of you on there plus more. This is going to be great training, and this is, it's all the training I've been doing pretty much, but now I have a curriculum that we have, and I have the material to really kind of guide you through, excuse me, and help you grow your business. Now, this stuff works. The scripts, even though the scripts in the role play that we're talking about today, these work and these objection handlers, they work for the shop owner, but they also work for web leads. They also work for SOI calls, things like that. So it's very, very important that don't tune out one of the ones you're not working on, but understand that the more you learn about these dialogues, the better you will become at whatever particular segment you decide you're working on. Okay? So they'll all improve you. It's like a football team, right? You watch football practice. Guys are running through tires. Now, they don't run through tires in a game, but they learn the foot motion, and it's an exercise. Right? When you learn a piano or a guitar, you sit there and you play what is it called? Scales, right? You play scales, back and forth, back and forth. So if you practice scales every day, you become better. So if you practice your dialogue, you just become better. It's that simple. Okay? So without further ado, I'm going to stop the recording.